Yes, thank you. Euler Poincaré equations are well known to deduce in a variational way the equation of motion in mechanics when the unknown field takes its value in Lie groups. For instance, with a rotation group, you can describe the motion of a free rigid body. But unfortunately, this equation fails for Galileo's group. This is due to one of its particularity, its non-null symplectic homology. In these presentations, I'll show you how to face this pitfall. Now, some words about the state of the art. Closer to the present work, there are two groups of papers. The first ones use the concept of mechanical connections, for instance, in the pioneering work by Small. Further, Abraham and Marsden, Foundation of Mechanics, and for these two authors, the concept is presented implicitly, and in the other works explicitly. Particularly, this is an interesting review in lecture on mechanics on these topics. The other group is composed of papers in relation with the theory of Young-Mills fields. For instance, interesting book of Guillemin and Steinberg on symplectic techniques in physics. In the previous edition of GSI, I presented the concept of momentum as an affine tensor. Let's recall the key ideas. Our starting point is ATXM. That is a affine space associated to the tangent vector space at point x to the manifold M. A star Txm is the vector space of the affine function psi on this space, denominated affine forms. Now it's an important notion. We call momentum a bilinear form U with two arguments, a tangent vector v and an affine form psi. It is then one covariant and one contravariant mixed affine tensor. Now let F be an affine frame of ATXM, composed of an origin and a basis. Then the value of mu can be depends linearly on key, the value of psi at the origin, on phi alpha, the covariant components of the unique linear form associated to psi, and on v beta, the contravariant components of the tangent vector. That reveals k beta and L alpha beta that are the component of mu in the corresponding affine frame F. Now it is worth to recall some concept of symplectic mechanics, in particular the one of momentum map introduced by Suryo here in this picture. I use its notations. To fix the ideas, on a simple example, I consider a configuration space N of the manifold of dimension 7, of which the points have components of time t, of position x, and velocity v. It is equipped with a field of skew-symmetric two-covariant tensor, the presymplectic form. It allows to recover the equation in motion in the form of the canonical equation, defining the kernel of this presymplectic form. And that analytically can be written in this compact form. Now, in mechanics, a powerful tool is the one of symmetry group, Lie group acting on a manifold end. Let G star be the dual of its Lie algebra G. A momentum map is a function defined on the manifold N with value in G star and such that this condition is satisfied. On the trajectory, the canonical equations are satisfied, the left-hand side vanishes, and so psi z is constant along the trajectory. So we recover the integral of motion in a modern form of Noether's theorem involving a symmetry group. Also, G naturally acts on its Lie algebra by the adjoint representations and on G star by the induced action head star called coadjoint representation. Now, the momentum, another concept introduced by Suryo is the one of symplectic cocycle. Theta, it is defined on the Lie group and valued in G star such that this condition is satisfied. Eta is the point of the manifold, A, an element of the Lie group. We have just to prove that the left-hand side is constant. So this expression depends only on A. Modulo Occur boundary defines a class of symplectic homology, which is generally null. However, a noticeable exception is Galileo's group, the symmetry group of the classical mechanics. That will occupy us further. 50 years ago, Structure des systèmes dynamiques was written by Jean-Marie Suryo. Here, this is a comics drawn by a physicist, Jean-Pierre Petit. The guy at the left said, why do you use sunglasses to read Structure des systèmes dynamiques? And the other one answered, because its simplicity is blinding. Of course, it is a joke because really the book is arduous to read. Now, we want to merge the concept of momentum maps and momentum tensor. K is a row collecting the K alpha components, and L a matrix collecting the element L alpha beta of the components of the momentum. And so in matrix form, the transformation law of mu is given by the induced action of the affine group. This condition, where A, the affine transformation, is compound of a translation C column, P matrix, linear part, and Z is an infinitesimal generator, so of the form dC and dP. If the space of the component, this is an important milestone, if the space of the component mu of the tensor is identified to G star, thanks to this dual pairing where K is a row, dC a column, this is a scalar, L and dP are matrices, the transformation law of mu is nothing else a coadjoint representation. But unfortunately, this mathematical construction is not relevant for classical mechanics, and we extend it by considering a generalized transformation law with a translation term, theta, which is a symplectic cocycle. The idea is that we want the momentum to be an affine tensor. So it is an affine representation of the Lie group in G star. Comparing to this condition to the formula of the theorem on symplectic cocycle, recited in this form, where we occur the induced action, it turns out that the values of the momentum map are just momentum tensors, hence the name. Now we would like to put into duality this momentum tensor with the affine connections introduced by Élie Cartan. The algorithm consists in the following steps. Remember that mu, the component of the momentum compound of K and L, belongs to G star. On the other hand, an affine connection, gamma tilde, is a field of one form of connection on the principal bundle F of the affine frames. So it takes its value in the Lie algebra G. This suggests a natural dual pairing given here, where dk is a row, gamma A is a column, dl and gamma are matrices, the connection matrix. After skew symmetrizations, we obtain a field of two forms on the principal bundle G star times F of the couple mu F. Mu being the components of the momentum tensor in the affine frame F. So, in other words, the orbit of a couple can be identified to the tensor mu itself. This, so we are able to state a theorem which outlines the outstanding properties of this factorized symplectic form. Firstly, the restriction psi mu to the orbit mu of the projection of the couple mu F on the first component, mu, is a submersion. On each orbit, secondly, omega, the factorized symplectic form, is a pullback by psi mu of the symplectic form of Kirillov-Constant-Souriau theorem, which gives a canonical symplectic structure on the orbit in G star. And it is invariant by left action of G. Next, psi mu is simply a momentum map, and theta, the symplectic cocycle, is the corresponding cocycle, symplectic cocycle. Finally,
I have a very quick question. So omega, is it a contact form? What is known as contact form?
No.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Finally, the equation of motions are covariant, defining the kernel of these two forms. They are covariant in the sense that the momentum tensor is parallel transport. It's a covariant derivative, it vanishes, that give rise to this expression, where the last term in blue stems from the symplectic cocycle. So when it is null, one is nothing else, Euler-Poincaré's equation. In fact, this equation generalizes it when the class of symplectic homology of the group is not null, especially for the important case of Galileo's group. Galilean transformation are transformation of the space-time which preserve the uniform straight motion, the duration, the distances, and the orientation of volumes. They are compound, they are affine transformation, can be proved, or sorry, they are combined of a space-time translation to zero clock change, use the Galilean boost R the rotation. Their set is Galileo's group, a Lie group of dimension 10. So the dual pairing can be decomposed in 4 terms that reveals the components of a Galilean momentum tensor. The energy, E, dual of the clock change, with the corresponding transformation law, the linear momentum, P, dual of the space translation, the passage, dual of the boost, and L, the angular momentum, dual of the rotation rate. Whereas in the corresponding transformation law, the terms in red containing M, which can be interpreted as the mass of the particle or a rigid body, are those resulting from the symplectic cocycle. Also, I recall that the Galilean gravitation has two components, the classical gravity G and the spinning omega, of which the role will appear in the next and last transparent. That now I repeat the equation of motion as reminder, and they provide the conservation of the components of the momentum mapping. In particular, the time derivative of the linear momentum is governed by the gravity force, the first term, and the second term is depending on the spinning and allows to explain, for instance, Foucault's pendulum motion without neglecting the centrifugal forces as in standard textbook, as approximation which is, in my opinion, very disputable. Finally, with respect to the angular momentum, this second term in the equations, cross product of the spinning by the spin of the rigid body or the particle given here, allows to explain the motion of a rigid body, for example, Lagrange stop. In this, to obtain this equation, it is absolutely necessary to take into account the terms stemming from the symplectic co-cycle. The gist of this atypical behavior is that while in a Poincaré approach, the Lie group acts linearly on the manifold, Galileo's group acts in an affine manner. Thank you very much for your attention, and thanks to Euler and Poincaré for their seminal contribution.
Maybe some questions?
When you consider the general affine group in place of Galilean group, relations are the same.
Yes, because Galileo's group is a subgroup of the affine group.
What was the question again? Sorry, I couldn't. What was the question? I couldn't understand.
My question is, so he has illustrated the case for only for the Galilean group. We have the same kind of relation for the general affine group.
To obtain the formula for the transformation law of the component of the momentum tensor, I use the affine group because Galileo's one is a subgroup. Okay. Yes. They are well-known Euclidean tensor when you consider the action of the rotation group. There are also Galilean tensors. They are more complex.
Can I generalize the fact that
sorry.
the presence of an asymptotic cycle
Yes.
is then is related to the fine nature of the action of the group? Or
It is an accident.
it is an accident?
It is an accident because in general relativity, Poincaré's group has no this co-cycle, and so it is simpler in this sense. This renders very difficult to have a relativistic view of the classical mechanics. It is one of the reasons.
Is there any case where you have a symplectic co-cycle which is not clear? Any other group which you know?
There are very few examples of such typical behavior.
Special Euclidean group.
There is the Heisenberg group in quantum mechanics also that exhibit this kind of properties, but unfortunately for classical mechanics, it happens.